Boracay, an underwater paradise. The sea, once it casts its spell, holds one in its wonder forever. Jacques Yves Cousteau. (1995). Stepping out of Manila's airport, everything felt familiar, yet different. The humid air clung to me as the bustling streets pulsed with life. Cars, motorbikes, and bicycles wove through crowds of vendors and pedestrians in a frenzied dance. The honking horns, local chatter, and distant music created an overwhelming but exhilarating symphony. We paused for a moment, taking it all in. The energy of this chaotic new environment was intense, but it was exactly what we wanted. We hoisted our bags over our shoulders and with high spirits ventured into the heart of Manila, eager to see where this path would lead us next. We spent a few days savoring the local delicacies and basking in the vibrant atmosphere of Manila. The city's relentless energy was intoxicating. Yet after a while, it began to wear us down. Craving a more relaxing setting, we decided it was time to travel south to Boracay, an island famous for its long white beach, lined with dive shops, hotels, bars, and bungalows. The journey to Boracay took 2 days, leaving us tired and in need of rest. When we arrived, we walked along the beach to look for a place to sleep. The scent of sunscreen and grilled seafood mixed with the salty sea breeze ignited our senses despite the fatigue. We spotted a simple sign that read, "Bungalows, cheap price," exactly what we were looking for. We walked down a narrow pathway beneath swaying palms and emerged into a small courtyard lined with wooden bungalows. In the center, under the shade of palm trees, a group of women, including a ladyboy, were gathered around a picnic table, engaged in lively banter. Their infectious laughter instantly put us at ease. One of the women showed us our units, and despite my exhaustion, their joyful atmosphere drew me back out. I wanted to meet the women whose laughter offered such a warm welcome. "Can I join your conversation?" I asked, my curiosity piqued. "Sure," they replied warmly. "Of course. Come sit here," one of them said, patting the bench beside her. "We're planning dinner," another exclaimed eagerly. Filipinos have a passion for both cooking and eating their delicious meals. "Yum, I would love to taste it," I said enthusiastically, and they all nodded in agreement. "By the way, how do you wash your clothes here?" I asked, suddenly aware that I had no clean clothes left after our trip. "I didn't see any laundromats on the beach," I gestured with my hands in the air. "We use the buckets over there and wash by hand in the mornings," one of them said, pointing to a pile of buckets next to a water tap. "Oh, can I join you? I don't usually wash my clothes by hand, so it would be fun to do it with you," I suggested. "Sure," they responded in unison, excited by the idea of sharing the chore with me. "Can you wake me up tomorrow when you're ready to wash? I have trouble waking up early," I told them. They clapped, smiled, and nodded, clearly pleased. After a few more minutes of conversation, the exhaustion from the trip finally caught up with me. "All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Now I need to go unpack," I said, waving to them as I walked to my bungalow. Being a part of women's circles in these countries was a heartwarming experience, one that I cherished deeply. We didn't have the luxury of lounging around on this tropical island for very long. We needed to find work quickly to cover the expenses of our room and board. The next morning, we set out to explore the island's bustling dive shop scene and find work. We wandered down the beach, drawn by vibrant signs and cheerful voices, enticing us with the promise of breathtaking dive excursions. We arrived just before the peak season, which worked to our advantage, since the dive shops were gearing up for the influx of tourists. We visited several dive shops, presenting our credentials and discussing opportunities with the owners and staff. The rhythmic sound of the waves and the distant hum of boat engines carrying divers to their next destinations was a soothing backdrop to our search. Mark found a position at a German-run dive shop where his language skills and experience made him a perfect fit. The dive shop was an active place with efficient operations and a friendly team of divers who were happy to welcome him. Their organized approach and attention to detail promised a steady stream of work for Mark. I got a job with a group of Americans at a dive shop known for its laid back, friendly atmosphere. The shop was surrounded by beach bars and small eateries, which created a welcoming work environment. The team was happy to teach me the ropes, and I quickly felt at home among the diverse group of instructors and dive masters. We settled into our new roles, and the days began to fall into a comforting rhythm. Each morning, we woke early, joined our respective teams, and spent the day leading dives, maintaining equipment, and sharing stories with tourists who loved to hear about the underwater wonders of Boracay. I enjoyed the opportunity to meet people from all over the world and in turn hear their unique stories. The days were long, but despite the hard work, we felt a deep sense of accomplishment. We looked forward to each day that awaited us. Boracay, with its stunning beauty and colorful community, had quickly become our home away from home. After work, I walked down the beach to the German dive shop to meet Mark for a night dive. Mark had a special knack for finding elusive fish. We enjoyed searching for rare and hidden marine life that came out at night. Mark set up his gear with practiced ease, chatting with the others who were relaxing nearby, beers in hand. Once our gear was ready, we walked down to the water with our tanks on our backs. The moon lit up the beach, and we took a moment to savor the stillness of the night. At nighttime, the beach had a different aura, with the moon casting a silver glow on the gently lapping waves. One more final check of our equipment, and we waded into the water, the coolness wrapping around us as we submerged. Descending into the depths, the world above faded away, leaving only the sound of bubbles from our regulators and the soft swish of our fins that cut through the water. Mark's keen eyes quickly began to spot hidden marine life among the corals. King crabs and giant lobsters scurried across the sand, trying to escape the beam of our lights. We watched a barracuda swim by in the shallow waters, hunting its dinner, and we found an octopus peering out at us from its hiding spot under a sea sponge. After an hour, I started to feel the cold seeping through my wetsuit, when Mark suddenly pointed out a black frogfish, perfectly camouflaged against a soft piece of black coral. I could feel his delight. He grunted and gestured eagerly through his regulator, his eyes asking me, "Can you see it?" But the chill was distracting me, and my concentration was slipping. I stared at him blankly, unable to focus on the elusive creature. I shrugged my shoulders and held my hands up to make the signal, "I don't know." He groaned and waved his hand, signaling for us to head back to shore. Though I never managed to recognize the camouflaged frogfish that night, the black blob has remained more vivid in my memory than some of the frogfish I have actually seen and identified. It's funny how the ones that get away are often the ones we remember the most.